Hello everyone and welcome to another maintenance notice, and today we have the announcement of Secret of Mana. Yes, what we had heard turned out to be true, and it is the next iteration of the Secret of Mana banner, and once again it is a raid that will run from, well, it is a raid and it will run from February 19th to February 28th. So yeah, it's pretty nice. We do like raids. Raids are good for getting stat pots, and I have been waiting to get some stat pots. Of course, there will be brand new items that we will be able to make, which include an accessory that is 25 defense and 25 spirit. Pretty nice. And 20% resistance to fire, water, wind, and earth. That water resistance sounds really nice if you were building a magic tank. That might actually be a really nice accessory. Remember, one of these things we can only make one of, but that's okay. Even one is better than none. You can also get clothes, which are 15 defense and 15 spirit, plus 50% resistance to poison and sleep, but also charm resistance. Ooh, charm resistance. That's actually kind of interesting. If only this had some attack on it, it would be amazing. But it is female only, so thank God I pretty much run only female characters. Excellent. We also have some light armor that is 30 defense, 20 spirit, 10 resistance to fire, water, wind, and earth. So combine that with the, the accessory, you got 30% resistance. It's not the best thing, but light armor is light armor, and hey, if you have Awakened Rain, something with 30 defense and 20 spirit, that's not bad. And the last is an accessory that gives an 8 defense, 14 spirit, and 20% to ice resistance. Ooh. Ice resistance sounds really nice. And we will be having a unit drop from the raid, and it's a damn cute one. It's Rabby. He's a 3 to 5 star. And he gives a TMR that gives 10% HP and 15% light resistance. It's freaking adorable. It's freaking adorable. That's all you need to know. So yes, other than that, it is a standard raid, and it looks like we will still only have the 5 raid orbs. It's not going up to 10, which is too bad. But since this is a repeat event, some units are getting a 7-star treatment, and so let's go over them. We have Randy. Randy will be getting a nice upgrade, as well as Kevin, Riaz, which I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, and BlueStacks is a pain in the ass. I really don't understand why it doesn't load everything properly. Hawkeye as well. So, let's talk about these 4 units first before we get to the brand new units, about whether you should even be interested in these guys. First of all, Randy is potentially very interesting because Randy had an incredibly high attack stat before 7 stars came along. Now he's getting his 7-star. Maybe he will end up being a big deal. There's no guarantee, but I'm pretty interested in Randy. The only problem is, whoops, I clicked out there. His regular TMR isn't that good in the long run, and you basically have to equip it to him for his 7-star. Well, we'll have to... That is one thing I should say. My voice cracked a little bit there. We will have to wait until the data to truly know whether these units are any good, but the Randy's sword, his TMR, might be the killing thing. We'll have to wait and see what his 7-star kit has. But, with that being said, his super TMR is incredibly interesting. A materia that's 50% attack, 30% Esper stats, and % HP and MP up with swords. General 50% attack, it's really nice. 30% extra Esper stats, as Espers only get more powerful. That might be a bigger deal. More HP and MP with swords? Well, heck, who could we throw that on? We could throw it on CG Reagan, we could throw that on Sephiroth, we could throw that on just a ton of units and 50% bonus attack. Wow. Just wow. Now, next up is Kevin. Now, Kevin definitely didn't end up staying in the meta any near amount of time. His regular TMR wasn't anything super memorable as far as I can remember, but more importantly, we want to talk about these guys' super TMRs. Now, this guy's super TMR is pretty meh. If you consider that the fact that Preesh has a super TMR fist as well as Tifa has a super TMR fist, both of them having what I would say is an advantage being non-elemental, this thing is 172 attack, dark element knuckle. And first of all, here's the big question. Is Kevin going to beat Tifa? Tifa is the big fist user right now. Is Kevin going to beat her? Very unlikely, because Tifa has natural dual wield, holy explosion chaining, I mean, can imbue herself with the water element when it's useful, and gets limit or super fast. So no, just no. No, I don't like this super TMR because it's bound to the dark element, where Tifa's is just more flexible. So it would take a hell of a 7-star kit for this guy to even be remotely worth it. And I don't think so, given that Tifa is a thing. Next up is Riez. Probably a bit of a fan favorite for a lot of people out there. She's cute. Long blonde hair. She's cute. Skimpy outfit. That's just RPG stuff. But anyway, her super TMR is a materia that is percent attack, defense, magic, and spirit up when equipped with a spear. Really depends on what the percentage is here, but for some reason, I just don't see it being over 30%. If it's 20%, it's worthless. If it's 30%, and I'm assuming it will be the same percent for all stats, but not really useful for other Dragoons. Normally, Dragoons or spear users, you just want to boost attack, so this is only for her. And Riez was a bit of a, to my memory, she was a support unit that got completely trounced when CG Nicole and Ignis came along. So again, this is another case of she either needs an amazing 7-star kit, or it's just not going to matter. Also, I didn't mention about Randy's enhancements. Those were good. And the last and not loading is Hawkeye. And Hawkeye was just, again, a unit that nobody really used in the grand scale of the meta. And now his super TMR might be interesting, but probably not for him. It's a materia of 30 attack, 30 magic, and EQ attack and magic with dual wield. So basically what he is equipped with dual wield increases it more. First of all, dual wield units, let's face it, I don't see, this is another one exactly like Riez and Kevin, and even Randy to a certain extent, where Kevin is just probably not. Riez, it's unlikely, and even if you have CG Nicole, it doesn't really matter. Hawkeye super TMR is potentially really, really good and really interesting, but it's for Conchira. It's definitely not for Hawkeye, probably. I feel pretty confident about making that guess, that it's just going to be, his super TMR is just going to be for another unit, and you're just going to keep this guy on the bench. But again, we'll wait for the data. So, with all of that being said, now we can talk about the new unit. And this is the exciting one as far as I'm concerned, because it's a dragon, and I love dragons, and it's a frickin' dragon. Say hello to our new Secret of Mana unit, Flamey, 5 to 7 star. He's the only brand new unit. Now, where do we begin with this guy? This guy, oh my goodness. I want to go for him at least a little bit because he's a frickin' dragon. And he might be good, but first of all, his TMR is a 50 attack stat accessory with an extra 20% HP. Oh yes, it's a much better version than Desh's earrings. Yes, even on this guy, it's going to be awesome. I really, really want this dragon. Now, his super TMR is a 60% attack materia with physical damage up against beast, spirit, and undead. Yes, please. Basically Vincent's regular TMR with no spirit and killers attached. As a matter of fact, this TMR would be amazing on Vincent. Oh yes. But okay, let's talk about Flamey because we want to give Flamey some love. Flamey is well, first of all, his limit burst is an AoE, fire, water, wind, earth, light, dark. Resistance up, and a one-turn damage mitigation. So he's some kind of support unit, which is exactly how he's described. He is a support unit that has AoE attack and defense buffs, physical damage mitigation, and he can charge the Esper gauge. This dragon's starting to prove to be really useful. He also has a single target attack break and one-turn time jump. That's right, we have a Dragoon. Or is it a Dragoon dragon? Or does it even matter? Doesn't really matter. This is very, very interesting and very... I love dragons, and I love Dragoons, so put them together, this unit's going to be some fun. He also has an AoE heal and self-light immune, meaning that he's a light elemental character, but chances are, since he is a monster, he won't be able to equip any weapons. He won't be able to equip any weapons, which sends up maybe a bit of a panic alarm, except maybe, just maybe, he will be a Freya, where Freya couldn't equip any weapon, so they gave her so much magic damage. So if you give this guy equip anything and dual wield, he might be just phenomenal. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm excited for him. Now, the last thing in the 7-star kit, he gets an AoE Wind and Light Imperil and timed jump one turn. So it looks like he does a lot of jumps. My question is, how powerful are his jumps? And is it an AoE jump? Because we'll have to, again, wait to see this guy's kit, but I'm really excited for this dragon. I'm really, really excited. Now, something else about these banners that are coming up. Yes, that's right, there are quite a few banners, so let's talk about the regular banners first. Now, any rainbows that you get on either of the Secret of Mana banners are rainbows only from Secret of Mana, so there you go. If you're trying for Secret of Mana, this is your best chance to do it. But we have step-ups, and here, this is going to be interesting because I'm going to talk about this. First step-up is from the 19th to the 23rd, and will feature Flamey, Prim, and Popoi. Anyway, the second step-up banner will be from the 24th to the 28th, and will feature Randy, Prim, and Popoi. I'm calling him Popoi. And the last one is a third step-up banner, which runs from the 19th to the 28th, so at the same time, and has Kevin, Riez, and Hawkeye. Here's the thing, though. Let's talk about the first two, the Randy and the Flamey step-up banners. These are regular step-up banners, which are 5 steps, so they will cost you 1,100 lapiz for one go at the Flamey and one go at the Randy. And as far as I know, you only get one shot at these. probably only one shot at them. So, you know, you can end up with multiple or you can end up with nothing. But for the 5 stars, for the 5 step-ups, just needed to restart the music. For the 5 step-up system, the first step is the 500 Lapiz, second step is 1000 Lapiz, third step is 1500 Lapiz, step 4 is 3000 Lapiz, and step 5 is 5000 Lapiz, where you get 1, then 2, then 4, then 6, then 11 pulls. It's just like what we've seen before. And on the first step, you get 1.5 times rainbow rates for the featured 5-star unit. Interesting. Step 2, you will get a 5% trust Moogle with whatever you get. Step 3, you will get 2 times the 5-star rainbow rate for the featured 5-star. Step 4, you will get a 10% trust Moogle. And step 5, you will get, on your 11 pull, 5 times rate for the featured 5-star unit. So, if you're like me and you want the dragon, the step up is really your best chance to get it. For 1100 Lapiz, you know, basically works out to pull to 11 pulls with some better 5-star rates. Now let's talk about the Kevin, Riaz, and Hawkeye banner, and this one I have a slightly different opinion on. First of all, let's talk about it. So it is a 10 step up that first of all will follow the exact same pattern that we see with the normal 5-star step up. And I wish this second thing had loaded, but you will then, after you finish the first 5 steps, begin the second 5 steps for a total of 10 on the Riaz, Kevin, and Hawkeye banner. Step 6, again, you will get 1 pull for 500 Lapiz. Step 7, you will get 2 pulls for 1000 Lapiz. I guess it's step 8. Step 8, for 1500 Lapiz, you will get 4 pulls. Step 9, you will get, I keep wanting to say step 4 because I feel like it's 5 steps, but step 9, for 3000 Lapiz, you get 6 pulls, and step 10, for 5000 Lapiz, you get another 11 pulls. The difference on your second 5-star is that, or on your second 5-step, basically, steps 6 through 10, in step 6, you get 3 times the featured 5-star rate, which, on 1 pull, who really cares? On step 8, you will get 5 times the rate, 4 pulls, and on step 10, you will get, on your 11 pull, 1 guaranteed featured rainbow. Now, first of all, let me review these really quickly, and this is before we've seen the data, so I can't say whether the units are going to be worth it. But, as always, be cautious with limited time units. If you don't get the second one, you're never going to have the 7-star. Not until the next time this comes around, which could be a while. So, was it a good investment of resources? Possibly not. So, the Randy and Flamey ones, first of all, I think they're okay. I mean, they're standard 5 step-ups. You're never guaranteed to get anything, but if you want the units, they're pretty good chances. And you're basically paying for 2 11 pulls. Now, let's talk about the 10 step-up, which is 2200 Lapiz total, and really, it's split between 3 units, and right now it's split between 3 pretty mediocre units. So, in the grand scale of things, first of all, these units' values is going to be totally dependent on what their 7 stars look like, because currently they're nothing special. And the other thing is that it's split 3 ways. Now, say what you will about the 2500k Lapiz step-ups, but in general, you just get an extra 11 pulls than what you're paying here for 2200, different being about 3000 Lapiz. The 25k step-ups still feel like better value than this 2200 one, and the worst thing is that at the end of this, when you get your guaranteed rainbow, it's split between 3 different units, meaning that step 1, maybe you get 1 Kevin, you know, step 7, maybe you get 1 Riez, and then the last one you get a Hawkeye, and it's like, well, I guess I have the set, but no 7 stars. Honestly, I don't like the 10 step up at all, mainly because it's split between 3 units that, I just don't quite feel that great about them. I feel much more confident that a brand new unit like Flamey is going to be A, much more interesting, and probably B, much more powerful. But again, this is all guesses based on what I essentially think will happen. And 2200 Lapis is more than I want to spend on the Secret of Mana banner, especially because I just don't. If I do the 10 step up, I'm gonna get Kevin's. And I don't want Kevin's. I really don't want Kevin's. Riez I'd be okay with. But really, the one I want this time around is probably Flamey. Flamey's just cute. The dragon. He's a Dragoon. That's interesting enough to make me want him. So I will definitely be trying my luck with Flamey. As for the other banners, I don't know. On Monday, when we get the full data dropped, I'll have essentially a better idea of whether or not they're worth even remotely going for. But as it currently stands from the Super TMRs, Riez, not super impressed. Hawkeye, impressed, but for units I don't really have, so pass. Kevin, who I just can never remember his name because it's so bland. As for Kevin, hell no. Not for me anyway. I'm not saying that you guys should. If you like him, go for it. But for me, hell no. Randy might be very interesting for his Super TMR. And last but not least, Flamey. Oh hell yes. Oh hell yes. But again, let's wait for the data before we get too excited. So that's all for now, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed this, and remember, so let's just post that information one more time to make sure you know. So it is only a 3-hour maintenance, which, given that all that's coming up are in this maintenance is basically the new raid, the new characters, there's 2 I guess, so it counts. The new, some new parameter missions, so look forward to that being impossible. 3,000 attack unit probably needed, anyway. And bug fixes, so probably it's pretty safe to say that it'll only be 3 hours on Monday. Other than that, I'm really excited for this raid, and I hope you guys are too. So that is all for now. I will see you in the next video, when we will probably be piling over all of the data and seeing if there's anything we're spending our hard-saved Lapis for, or hard-bought Lapis. Anyway, doesn't matter. See you next time.